Okay, welcome. I have my soul sister and cousin, Kayla Mae Primo, with me. I'm like, cousin, no, you're like my sister. But, anyways, we grew up as sisters, so pretty much. Anyways, I have Kayla here, and we felt super inspired to talk about the energy we're moving to in 2026. Like, we are both like, just sort of talking. We're like, I feel like this is like a big year. Like, there's like a group of us that like something's happening, like a huge group of people that there's major shifts for everyone, but there's a certain network I feel that all of us are really up leveling in 2026 and we wanted to talk about it. So I just wanted to say welcome, Kayla.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just ready to dive into this energy so much. The amount of people I'm talking to and have been feeling this release and letting go and this final shed of this snake year is just amazing and powerful.
Yeah.
Like, I have definitely felt it throughout this year, but I think there is a huge collective that is just feeling this final, okay, I need to let it go and leave it in 2025 because it is not coming to
Mhm.
2026 with me at all.
Yeah, that's so funny you say that because I've had a couple of people like in my circle saying that exact message. Like, now is the time to just totally let it go. Like, totally just say F it. Like, someone asked me specifically, what identities are you leaving behind in 2025? Like, I've
Ooh.
seen it. It's just like it's a message that's coming through. So, like, I don't know, where is this coming from? Like, what do you see? Like, is it planets? Is it numerology? Is it just energy shifts? Is it higher beings? Like, what are you feeling?
I I'm really tuning into, I think, the numerology, and I knew going into this year, it being a year 9, and that we would be moving into a year 1 or a year 10 next year. I have just felt throughout this whole year, it's like I speak for a lot of the collective that I have communicated with, and just feeling like this final push, and that we are ready to just start a whole new chapter on a stronger foundation. So not only have we been releasing, letting go, but I think we're really solidifying the foundation that we plan on building a whole new 9-year cycle or
Mhm.
even just a new year
Mhm.
next year. I just
Mm.
feel like the need to solidify, like, everything is solid in my core, in my beliefs, in what I'm working towards. And this need to just, like, run next year. It just feels very like I'm enjoying the holidays, although it's hard to sometimes be present in the holidays because my mind is spinning with
Mhm.
all the things I want to accomplish in the new year. But I keep telling myself, enjoy the holidays,
Mm.
take this beat, release, be present, because something is changing. And I think you can speak more to the astrology and the planets of what that might be.
Yeah, no, I thank you. I feel that. And I'm thinking about the date that we're recording. This is December 20th, and I'm like, I've got 10 days to fully like get my shit together and like just have a plan or have an intention for 2026. And like, astrologically speaking, the new year isn't until Aries season, and then like the lunar new year, like you mentioned, the year of the snake, it's not until it's like the first week of February. So it's like there is a bit of grace period, but nonetheless, like the energy of 2026, yeah, it's a 1 or it could be a 10. Like, there's different layers to numerology, just like astrology. um and I'm not advanced by any means, but 1, yes, it's like that new initiation, that new cycle. 10, if we're looking at the 10, is about radiance and it correlates to the sun and it's about being bright and bold. So it's like it's a kind of a similar energy. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'd love to just share a few dates of astrology
Yes,
for
please.
those interested.
Everyone
So
taking notes.
yeah, so I think this sort of fire like oomph really is coming from this very rare conjunction of Saturn and Aries. Sorry, Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, and they're essentially moving in together. And they've already touched Aries. So they've already been at 0, 1 degrees. They both retrograded back. They're both moving forward. I pulled up some dates here, although I don't know that they are correct because it really just depends on, oh gosh, what is astrology sort of you follow. But I believe, I'm going to write that in the caption so that I don't dilly dally here on the dates. Was in the middle of finding them. But anyways, they're moving back. Saturn and Aries are moving back into Saturn and Aries. Saturn and Neptune are moving back into Aries. Aries is about the self. It's that one energy. It's fire. It's motivation. It's drive. It's action. It's desire. It's movement forward. Saturn is the planet of lessons, challenges, growth, boundaries, and really building something. So it feels like we're building this new self. Neptune is our spiritual connection. Um, it's about energy fields. It's about dreams. It's about vision and creativity. So literally manifesting this new you, this new era, this new being. And it's like, I was like looking ahead, I don't know, it was like 1 or 2 years ago, but at these dates, and I was like, oh my God, like Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, like those are such major shifts because these planets don't move that often. Not to mention we have Pluto that just moved into Aquarius. That started a whole like new 20-year cycle. That's kind of happened over the last year. Uranus just moved into Gemini. That's another major outer planet. And then we have some other sort of celestial bodies that are even like, they're called Kuiper Belt objects, or some of them are like, what do they call them? Like dwarf planets. Anyway, those are also moving signs. There's so much of this, astrologically speaking, planets at like 0, 1 degree. And that 0, 1 degree of any new sign, literally, again, initiation, movement forward, like new energy. So there's so much of this. And I think if some people, maybe there's some people are like, I'm not noticing this. I don't feel this. I don't have any inspiration. At the end of the day, we're all on our own cycle, but something new, like something new is going to happen in your life. There's always new things happening, but oh my gosh, it's fire. Like, even I think as we're speaking about it, like we're getting energized. Like we're
Yeah.
both just in the middle of Christmas chaos with our families. And we're like, let's just sit down because this message needs to come out. And yeah, I'm feeling it and I'm just excited. It's like, what are we going to do? What I want to ask you, Kayla, is like, what sort of practices are you doing? Like, are you just in full on receiving mode, like channeling? Are you scripting? Are you journaling? What are you doing to clear these old identities? Like, what does this look like for you?
The biggest practices I have been working through, through all of 2025, I have said this is my glow up year.
Hmm.
And I've really felt within the past few months rewiring my subconscious. So changing my language, changing my narrative, speaking my desires and what I want as if they're already mine
Hmm.
into existence and catching myself. And this has been like, a few years practice, but I have really buckled down
Hmm.
this year and just wanting to lock in. And I think it's a confidence thing too. Like back in April, I ran a glow up challenge group where it
Hmm.
was all about loving yourself, building confidence, and really just pouring into yourself. And I've carried that throughout this whole year. And beautiful shifts have happened because of that. So that's been the major ones, is
Hmm.
just focusing on my own language and creating new neural pathways.
Hmm.
I've been following a few people who speak a lot more about neuroscience and how that goes hand in hand with spirituality. Like
Hmm.
when it comes down to it, we're all talking about the same thing. Whether we're talking about, you know, neuroscience, or you're talking about manifestation or law of attraction, or, having faith or these types of things, we've all been talking about the same thing, but
Hmm.
it's where we butt heads on how we wanna label it. And so for me, I'm just kinda going with the flow, trusting the process, and following sparks of inspiration as they come. So really trusting in those, kind of intuitive impulses and those messages we get, and kind of if things go right, like, awry or bumps in the road or my
Hmm.
plans get thrown off, I don't get upset anymore. I think there's just this lock-in of everything's always working out for me. I now have such a belief and stronghold of where I'm headed that there's no resistance. I think that's the biggest thing, is I've taken resistance off the path. And that's where Abraham Hicks is,
Hmm.
has
Yeah.
pushed that for me.
Yeah. There's a couple things I think of when you say that. Abraham Hicks, certainly Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yes.
Yeah, like with the neuroscience piece, that's like a huge one. He's all about like literally showing us through studying the brain how we can shift our reality. So cool. And then also you said this was your glow up year and we just had your birthday a couple weeks ago and you were in a solar year. So the sun was your ruler, all about shining bright, coming into yourself in your 10th house, speaking of radiance, and just like getting on that stage, right? You were hosting people, you were the leader for people, right? And this glow up challenge. And now you've moved into a Mercury year, and this is all about communication. And you had this message come through recently
Yeah.
about wind and air and communication.
Yes.
And So it's so funny that you're in flow. I had to look at the astrology for this.
It was honestly so intense. So the other day I messaged Kelsey because it was like 5 synchronous moments after another,
Mhm,
all regarding listen to the wind. And I just kept hearing spirit say, listen to the wind. And, it was showing up in just shows or showing up on my phone. And
mhm,
I went down like this whole rabbit hole, so to speak, about tapping into, that air energy and sword energy and
mhm,
tarot and
mhm.
really playing with that.
Did you grab it? Or did you ask?
Okay, so speaking of tarot, would you be open to pulling a card or two for the listeners of this episode? Because
Absolutely.
yeah,
Um, I feel like we do. We all need a collective message of,
yeah.
1, we're going to pull a card of, is there anything as a collective, what we need to let go of or work on or release in this
Mhm.
final 11 days that we have in 2025. So I'll pull maybe 1 or 2 for that.
Okay.
And then we'll pull a couple to see what is coming for us in 2026. And of course, I'll use a disclaimer, take what resonates,
Yep.
leave what doesn't. You know, you don't have to try and, oh, geez, mix it all about. Just, take what feels right to you. Not going to fit everyone, but we will set the intention that our listeners will receive a message from us.
Mhm.
Is there anything else we need to release of 2025? Ooh, that is funny. Okay, so that one got flipped up accidentally. Okay. So the very first card was judgment. Not only releasing and letting go of the judgment we might, do to ourselves. Like, I know there has been so many times where I hold on to guilt or shame or, especially mom guilt. My goodness. Just the feeling like I am never doing enough or I'm never enough. I'm letting that go. I am doing my best. I'm going to continue to do my best. And it's not always going to be perfect, but we're going to try. Also, I think letting go of the need to judge others. So there's a book that I was reading and it's called the four elements. I'll have to put it like send it to you after. It's the four agreements. And one of the agreements is that we're not going to judge others. We're not going to worry about what they're thinking of us and we're not going to worry about what we think of them. We're going to stay in our own lane and not exert our energy. So moving into 2026, it's this need to stop trying to insert our opinions or what we think others need to do and just be comfortable in our own energy. When I go to yoga, at the end of every class, there's this one yoga teacher and she says, "We can't control what others do to us, but we can control how we react to them."
Mhm.
So just staying in our own energy. So I think that's a big message and something some people may need to release is judgment.
I received self-judgment, releasing self-judgment.
Big time. I think we can be our own worst enemy
Mhm.
sometimes, right? Like, yeah, I think and the preconceived notions that we make too. Like there's so many times where I make assumptions of why is someone doing this way? They must not like me, or they might be mad at me, or da 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 da. Or, there's other people who are making assumptions about me, and there's no need for it. We have the star card. And I mean, if you look at it, she's holding on to a string attached to the star. And so I think it's this notion if we want to shine bright, and it reminds me of this thing that I used to do as kids. So you might remember when we were flying kites, you, Trav, and Kierst, so my brother and Kelsey's sister, would all have their kites so high in the sky. And I had this fear of letting my kite get too high and soaring too high because I didn't want to lose it. And I was afraid it was going to get tangled or whatever. And the energy of this card isn't even just more about the star card. I think it's letting go of the fear that your dreams might not be possible. So you hold them too close instead of actually allowing yourself to expand and grow and evolve and
Mhm.
just being willing to shoot high for the stars, to
Mm.
let that string go and know that you can make it possible. But there has to be a level of faith and belief in your own abilities. And so I'm no longer holding on to the string. I'm going to let it go and let my dreams soar and
Mhm.
know that they can happen.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I wrote shooting higher, and I think about shooting stars, making a wish, like just letting your dreams go. Let them be, let them become.
I think a lot of people need to remove their limiting beliefs. And the way we have been trained and programmed by society to believe that it only happens for the 1%. And I think we see that a lot within our Enagic community where, there's so many who are reaching such levels of wealth that at one point or another, I thought that was never possible. I didn't think that was for me. And now being in it, I'm like, I'm shooting as high as I can go. And it is because I've seen it
Mhm,
time and time again. And, it's surrounding yourself as well with people that have that level of success that
mhm,
you're striving for too. That's made all the
mhm,
difference. So we're
mhm.
releasing those limiting beliefs. We're
I
striving
love
bigger
it.
and better. Our final card that we need to release, I ended up pulling three, was the Page of Wands. And I really want to tap into this for a minute, but you can just see
Mm,
Page is like, it's like this new fresh energy, and Wands is our fire energy. So I think it's again kind of let things spark, let things take flight. Don't be afraid to light that match and just like go for it. I think
mm.
it's the energy of we need to just go for
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say it
Stop
feels like
holding.
initiation.
Yeah, like there's this restless energy, curiosity, a thirst for new information, learning, an apprentice. So it's like a student energy
Mm,
and that fire energy. So I think it's getting out of our own way. And I want to say that some people feel like they're too old,
mm,
to start something new. But that page energy is like, you're never too old to start something new or to chase after your
mhm.
dream. So again, releasing the way we've been conditioned to think like, that's not for me or it's not possible or I'm not at the right age now. So I'm just going to give up. Like,
Yeah,
no,
no.
no.
No. Oh god, why?
Right? Like, I'm a mom of three and I'm still chasing my dreams. And I want my kids to know that you're never too old to go
Mhm.
after for what you desire.
Oh, I love those messages.
Me too. Those are
It's
perfect.
yeah, it really is.
All right. Couple more. Let's just see what 2026 is going to bring for us.
We're fully receiving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As you say that, like Nine of Pentacles, abundance on abundance on abundance.
Love this. Thank you, 2026. We
Yes.
can hardly wait to meet you.
Right. And it's not even like if you look at it, like, yes, Pentacles is earth energy.
Mhm,
So we have like, the leaves and the growth and stuff like that. But I want to say like it's not just abundance in like financial wealth, it's abundance in so many things.
mhm.
Like abundance in food and abundance in love, of
Yeah,
abundance of, opportunity. Like we are gonna
yeah.
see a lot of that. Because I think, yeah, I don't know, just something has really shifted for the collective. Final one. Do we have it? Do we have it? Okay, this one came up twice. Seven of Swords. I feel like
Mm.
there's going to be some people, if you don't do the shadow work now, I'm just going to say it, you might be met with some shadow work in 2026. You won't be able to outrun it, is it's a vibe I'm getting right now. Yeah. One moment here. Being strategic, also needing to be grateful for the resources you have,
Mhm.
moving silently and quickly. So I think the message for that too is you don't have to announce all your goals. That's something I'm working on is I don't need to tell you what I'm doing. You can just watch me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something in that, right? Because it's like, are you trying to prove something to yourself by, like, saying it? But, like, do you actually believe it? Can you just embody it and do it and be it?
Yes. I think I've got to go like pop culture here for a minute. But there's some people who keep saying that they're in their 50 Cent petty era. And the way this man, but if you think about it, he did this in silence. He built all of this stuff, this case, this documentary and everything, and no one knew it. He collected things for like 20 years. But I think there is that energy of I don't have to announce what I'm doing, but you're going to see me succeed one way or another. And sometimes when we decide to share our goals and our dreams and desires with people, you get naysayers, you get skepticism, you get
Mm.
pessimism.
And if you're intuitive and empathic like us, then it starts to dilute your
Yeah.
vision because other people's vision gets tangled in there or their beliefs gets tangled in there. So stay on your course.
Yeah. Stay in your lane, do
Mm.
you, and just lock in. Like, I feel the need to just say, like, lock into those dreams, lock into those goals, to those desires, and you will see it through.
Wow. I love it. I feel called to share something that I'm working on slash through right now as we move into 2026. And I think for me, I realized I may have been blocking my own. I, I don't know if it's completed vision because it's never done, but like some specific goals I have. I think I was blocking them thinking I needed to do it alone. And I see how maybe sort of subconsciously I manifested that for myself and I'm looking I will be working with more support and mentorship, even for me, and receiving that support
Mhm.
and knowing I don't have to do it alone. I think that's like a thing I do, like, I'll just do it, I'll just do it my way. And something I'm personally working on is like receiving the support and the collaboration in order to accomplish certain things. And I think that that's totally okay. And I felt called to share because maybe someone else
Yeah.
feels like they need to do it alone, da 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 da. But there's so much beauty in opening your heart to receive and be a little vulnerable. That's something I'm like my Scorpio self is like, no, like, I do it right. But yeah, so that's something I'm excited about trying a different approach to business and seeing what that could bring. So that's
There
something
is
I'm working on.
Yes, there's so much strength, though,
Mm,
in vulnerability, and that's something I had to learn too, is, like,
yeah.
being authentic, genuine, and vulnerable and just putting it all out there. You encourage others to do
Yeah.
and to step into their own authenticity too, because
Yeah.
that being vulnerable is truly authentic. And, in a world where so many people feel the need to wear masks, when we finally choose to just be ourselves fully, no masks, no show, just this is who I am, shining in your light, tapped in, tuned in, turned on to alignment and source without feeling like that's too much for people. Because
Mhm.
there is a lot of shame sometimes around, when you're woo woo or in the
Yeah.
spiritual realm, right? But I think we're at a point where, we're just going to do it. We're going to be vulnerable and we're going to build our community. And I think, you get you get to your desires so much faster when you do it as a community and you
Mhm.
can lean on one another. And it's so much more rewarding. Like, I don't want to get to the top and be there by myself. Like, I
Yeah.
want to be there with you 110%. I want to be able to bring those people with me that mean so much to me. And, as a wife and, as yourself as a fiance and both of us mothers and, having a large family, we've always been so close and so giving, and then I know when I reach that financial wealth, it's one, gonna be in part because they've always supported us and we've been open to receive that support, but two, we'll be able to pour back into them. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's that what goes around comes around, and we've been blessed with such a beautiful family that's infused those, core beliefs and systems that I think that's also helped us too.
Yeah.
But again, there's parts of us where, we see our stubborn stronghold mothers who are like, "I'll do it on my own." So
Yeah.
there's a lot of layers and healing in that.
Layers for sure. Yeah, I guess I just wanted to ask one final message, maybe something that you're working on for quote unquote working on or intending for 2026 or just a message that you want to leave the audience for 2026 either.
Oh, that's a good one. Honestly, there'll be a couple things. But for me, I'm definitely just running with my goals and desires
Mhm.
in 2026 and locking in. So this year was a lot of shedding and releasing any limiting beliefs or any, things that were hindering my growth. And I feel like I've done really well this
You
year.
have. You
And
have.
2026, it's like buckle in, we're getting more organized. I'm really embodying. I think that's the biggest thing is holding and embodying the person I desire to be even more. That's what gets you there is the mindset
Yeah.
and the belief that you can be that person. Just running with it As for message with the collective, I think it's really knowing that you are the powerful creator of your reality.
Mm,
Like your thoughts, the way you speak to yourself, the words you use, that emanates your reality. And we need to shift out of seeing ourselves victims of our circumstances, but rather being empowered that you have it within you to change your life and do a 180. I went from someone who struggled so much with postpartum depression, normal depression, if you want to call it that, anxiety, and sitting in a victim mentality to someone who's very much taken accountability,
mm,
walked in, did the healing work that I had avoided for so many years. And now I'm the happiest I've ever been, and it's only getting better.
for
I
sure.
truly want that for everyone else. Like, truly, just if that, if I can leave you with that, you can change it
Yeah.
110%.
Oh, I love it. I love this message that we are putting out there. Thank you for hopping on with me. And thank you everyone for listening. And please feel free to leave us some feedback or questions, anything like that. We'll have our social handles in the description. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you.